Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations with non-native speakers. My name is Jedrek,
My name is Masha.
and we are two English teachers who
are again going to whine about something today.
no whining today.
Because
No whining. Come on.
we
We
don't
are
have
2 years old. We are 2 years old. We have just entered our
we're
third
toddlers.
year. We're toddlers. Yeah.
What
We're
do
not
toddlers
whining.
do? Explore. That's what
They
they do.
explore,
They don't
exactly.
whine.
They
They don't
learn.
complain. Yeah, okay. So
They sort of
two English
complain
teachers
when
who are learning.
Yeah, we're learning, exactly.
Mhm.
So, Masha, what have you learned lately?
What have I learned?
It's a
Ago
hard question.
that you taught me that Instagram is one big dump.
Yeah, that's one big dump, guys. I know for all of you who follow me on Instagram, I say hi. But to the rest,
Are you
no,
still fooling around with
not really.
uh,
Not
no?
really. I kind of I know I had a break from Instagram once Zuckerberg asked me for money,
He
because
did.
there was an option. Yeah, there was an option. You either pay some fee. I don't know how much, but I think it was around 10 or even 15 euros per month. Imagine 15 euro.
Outrageous.
Outrageous for using what? Your crappy sorry to all the Instagrammers. But this application that is full of ads, of course, and not just ads, but they are specific ads. They are kind of. I have the feeling that they are really these kind of ads that are very aggressive. You know what I mean? Like they really want to sell, and do you know the kind of TV shows with shopping, TV shopping, stuff like that?
Telemarketing.
Is that telemarket? Yeah,
Telemarketing.
exactly. Telemarket. No,
No.
it's not. Telemarketing is a different thing. But when they, for example, on TV, Mango. You know this channel, Mango? Has
No,
it reached
don't
Ukraine?
watch TV.
All right, me neither. But I remember from years ago. But they present some kind of a cool stuff that you would never have thought of, like how to, I know, clean your whatever glasses, or something. Suddenly they come up with some kind of revolutionary tool for it, something that when you watch this, you feel like it's
I
what I
must have
need.
it.
I must have it. Yeah. And I think
Uh-huh.
this sort of businesses advertise a lot on Instagram, including language schools,
Mhm.
these fantastic language schools that teach you all English in just a weekend, or even less.
We also advertise on Instagram.
Yeah,
Unplugged.
but well, we never paid for that for the advertisement. It was nothing like a
Does it?
professional advertisement.
What difference does it make?
Well, it makes a difference, of course, because the ads that appear in between stories, Instagram stories, or the ads that are on your timeline when you scroll, they are carefully prepared by specialists. They are
Yeah.
designed
But still,
in
you
such a
you
way
use the
that make you
platform
click.
you use the platform to sell something. There's just one big marketplace, this
Like
Instagram
all
today.
social media is one big marketplace, because if you don't advertise a product, you advertise yourself. You build
Yeah.
your own brand.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it if not marketing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have to be careful. You cannot say this, you cannot say that, because you might I don't know, basically you have to be careful on social media these days, right? And I'm not even talking about being banned by the administrator, but
Being
being
cancelled by your followers.
canceled by you. Yeah, exactly. So you have to be careful with your opinions. It's natural. And that basically means that you are building your brand, right? You have to be you are careful. You want to be nice. You want to show just the good things about you, and so on. So you build your brand this way, and this is advertising. But coming back to these, advertisements, that commercial advertisements, not the non-commercial. What is the what the hell is that?
Professional.
I'm lacking terminology here, you know. Yeah, but these ads, they are very aggressive. Very often they verge on scams, if not they are outright scams. Lately, you know, I have seen there is a famous French anchor. She's running the evening news from Monday to Thursday, I guess, because then Friday, Sunday is another guy.
Mm-hmm.
But she's very popular. You know, she's very popular also on Instagram, in social media, because she's like, you know, she's a personality, media personality, and so on. And I saw her name is Sophie Lapix, you know, and I saw a picture of her on Instagram when she's crying, and it's kind of it looks like she's in the TV studio, and there is, you know, some kind of a headline below saying that big scandal, blah 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 blah. Well, I clicked that immediately, you know, because I thought, okay, they captured, you know, a live picture of her. But and listen to that, the link was leading to Le Monde. It's a newspaper, French newspaper, renowned, recognized, you know, and so on.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big title, you know, and the logo and the font type, everything is like Le Monde, you know, except it's not Le Monde at all. It's a fake website that resembles this newspaper, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look into the address, but who cares about the address that is on top, you know, in especially in the browser on your phone, you know, where you can't see it because very often it's hidden, right? So and there is an article saying that, you know, Sophie Lapix was accused of being a millionaire or something like this, which she might be. I don't know. She's probably rich, you know. But
Somebody's accused of being a millionaire. Just the sound of
no,
it.
sorry, it's yeah, I know. You're a millionaire, aren't you?
That's a sin. Okay.
Okay, but no, sorry. She was. The point is that uh, um, she. I can't. All right, I made a mental shortcut. It wasn't like she was accused of being millionaire, but she said something like she. I mean, according to this article, which is totally fake, you know, but she said that she made a lot of money. I mean, sorry, she said something like this: she could make a lot of money within a few days just using social media and some kind of a magic platform, you know, which she was advertising, you know, somehow. But and then, you know, whatever that was. Sorry, I can't even, you know, recount this story properly. But it's not about language. It's just that, you know, what I read is, you know, I have a very selective attention right now. But the point is that it was a fake scam article. This picture was made using AI, you know, with her crying, and it looked quite credible, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so you see where this is going, and this is all there on Instagram, ready to be clicked by anybody, you know. And there are countless other articles like that involving different, you know, celebrities or you know, politicians and so on. And I think that, and this is, you know, this is there uh, hanging for until it gets banned. But I saw that many accounts are actually promoting this, you know, so it's being promoted from many different accounts, not just one. So yeah, this is the state of Instagram today, you know, a lot of scams, a lot of you know, that kind of stuff. And why am I even
Yeah,
talking
well,
about this?
that's what you wanted to talk
This is
about.
what I
Um,
no no
this thought is running, you know, the book of how are we going to call this episode? Well, AI will definitely come up with something.
yeah, sure, but yeah, the
Yeah,
big
what does it
Instagram
have to do
scam, you
with
know.
English learning or with?
Well, it has to do. What does it have to do? Nothing in particular, you know, with English learning,
Mm-hmm,
apart from, you know, these Instagram schools
mm-hmm,
that are fishy at the very beginning, you know, to me, because everybody who's advertising on Instagram, their schools, their magic methods, or whatever, is probably, you know, a scammer. Instagram has become a place. I don't know. By the way, I don't know other social media platforms all that well. I mean, I know Twitter. or X now, a little bit, but it's definitely less polluted with that kind of stuff. And I don't know TikTok, I don't know other social media platforms, Facebook not really. But again, this is one big dump, one big dump, and you have to be careful. And this is what I wanted to say and to tell to share
Big
with everybody.
rant.
Yeah, I wanted to whine about Instagram. I'm sorry,
So
it
you
was no
see, it
whining.
is about
At the
whining.
end of the day, it's always
People be
whining. All right.
careful, with Instagram, or better don't go there at all.
What is your exposure to the social media? I mean, how much are you a user of that?
Pretty much zero.
What do you mean zero?
Well, no, I get my news from Telegram channels. That's how I stay updated.
Is Telegram a social medium?
Yeah, so it's
It kind of
definitely not
is.
zero. Yeah.
Yeah, because there are channels and so on, but this seems
I don't know
like.
how social it is.
Could you
It's an
comment on
interesting
stuff?
question. I have no idea because I would never ever. But
all right.
Probably you can. No, not all. Not all.
Are there
channels
advertisements?
No.
Oh, you see, that is, it's working in somehow, I don't know, using a different model, but definitely.
No, there are of course channels where you may see adverts. Well, the beginning of the war. The beginning of the war is when I discovered what Telegram is actually for, because I used to use it just to text my students, So,
yeah.
But then I wanted, of course, we all wanted news, and I didn't used to read news. I got evening piece of news from my husband, and it was enough for me. But then suddenly, I went to well-known platforms. I mean, well-known in Ukraine, and they were so slow. And then somebody, introduced me to these groups. Basically, they are groups, chats, and at the beginning I had like a lot of them, and all my time was taken by constantly reading what's going on, and then I basically, the information is repeated, of course, and then I found just two. Now I have only two. One is and they are very, very different in terms of the way they present information.
Report,
Let's say they are at the extreme sides of the spectrum. One is very, very patriotic.
All right.
And another one is okay, let's say very, very optimistic.
Okay.
And the other one is very, very pessimistic. And I
All right.
read both, and I have some kind of,
And you're right in the middle, right? You're right.
Yeah.
You have balance. You have balance.
This is how I reach
mental health.
balance.
Yeah.
But this is it basically. So it's like, I guess it's like watching evening news. It's just that I don't do it once in the evening. I do it throughout the day whenever and of course it's really important to know, when you have an alarm, what's the reason for this alarm, because you need to know what
What's
to do.
what's putting you off from the Instagram or Facebook or these kind of,
I don't see
I wanted to say
need.
traditional social media, but I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, the mainstream social media. Because I know you have an account. You have an account on Twitter. You have an account on Facebook, I guess.
You made me go on.
I made you open your Twitter, but you're not an active user, but
No.
still. All right.
And the same Facebook. I used to be on Facebook a lot when I was actively developing my career. Yeah, because there's a lot of information about different conferences, different events, and all my feed was basically about teaching, and that's it. Now I don't
But you
even
are
have the
mainly
need.
a lurker.
Yeah.
That is, you know, a
Yeah.
person who's not posting, but
You
just
can count
checking
my
posts.
posts using, you know, fingers of your two hands, because I had to post about
The
podcast.
thinking out loud, yeah. The
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
All right. Well, it's interesting, you
Why
know.
do you use Instagram? Like, what?
I don't know. I think Instagram. You know, I started my Instagram when when I came here to France. I guess I noticed that it's a much more popular platform than Twitter in France. Twitter is actually very niche. You know, if I checked the, you know, even the hashtag with the name of my town, or, you know, some kind of, you know, Provence or something, it was very like very poor, you know. So and then I noticed, but can't tell you how it all started, but I noticed that on Instagram there's actually quite a lot happening, either around my town, you know, or the region, and I follow a lot of accounts that publish pictures from around, you know. There are also interesting initiatives like local businesses, and they promote local business. There are some accounts that, you know, also the shops that I visit from time to time, you know, and so on. So it's quite nice, you know. So you can learn about, you know, some services or new initiatives. And Instagram is exactly the place that sort of works well here in France. But and yeah, and at the same time, for example, when I meet new teachers at various conferences and so on, it's rather Instagram that they are using than you know, than Twitter. I mean, Twitter is rare, really. Twitter used to be a good place for teachers. There was a lot happening, but it's somehow died, you know, I think, as far as you know, the exchange of ideas is concerned and so on. Not sure if this is being carried over right now on Instagram.
Everybody's in TikTok, I guess, today.
Maybe everybody's on TikTok. I know TikTok doesn't appeal to me totally. Like I don't understand. I mean, I'm too old for TikTok or what, you know? No idea, but I tried TikTok maybe once, very very briefly. I think I installed it on my computer maybe. Can't remember, can't tell you now, but I did start TikTok because apparently it has a legendary algorithm that in just under 1 hour is able to get to know you so well that it's going to offer you some videos or clips, whatever they call it, TikToks, no, that are basically cut out for you, very interesting, you know, and you know, you get glued to the screen for long hours. I tried this, you know, and can't. I guess I'm not that kind of person that is, you know, easy to, unless I underestimate the algorithms. But I'm not easy to categorize. You know, the same happens to Spotify and my music tastes. Spotify, yeah, Spotify
Nobody can
offers me.
work you out.
Yeah, Spotify offers me a playlist, but I guess I'm not the only one, and it's basically the algorithm is pretty bad, maybe. But it offers me a customized playlist each week, each Monday, that, you know, stuff based on what I listened to before, and, you know, you might like this, you know, because you listened to that, you know, and there's very rarely a decent playlist, you know, very rarely. It was maybe once in my lifetime on Spotify. This is quite a long relationship, you know, because I have been on Spotify since, can't remember now, 2014 or something like that. It goes back, you know, long time. But yeah, basically Spotify knows nothing about my taste, and I have to discover stuff myself.
Good old ways of how did we even live, you know?
Before social media, you mean?
Yeah, I remember, you know, when was it 3 years ago? I moved. I just moved to Kiev, And I remember there was a new album by Madonna. It just came out. And of course, in Kiev, you could only get, some pirated CDs. And I had to go to there was only one place where I knew I could get it. And I had to go to the city center. And then there's a long, long underground crossing, which was called the Tube. I was given instructions, how to find it. I was totally new in this city. It took me, I don't know, maybe
I didn't know
couple
you
of
were such a
hours.
Madonna fan.
Well, it's just, she was big, and this is something that doesn't happen often. You get a new album.
What do you remember the name of the album? What was it?
Maybe it was this. Maybe it was Music. Maybe it was the one before. I guess it was Music.
All right.
Are you Googling it?
Yeah, I'm checking it on Spotify.
Well, you're not gonna.
No, I know Music. Wait, there's of course Music, the
Yeah,
title
this one.
song.
Yeah.
Right. American Pie even. All right.
Yeah.
This is what? This is 2000, year 2000 exactly.
Yeah, it's 2000.
All right, fine. So
and
Masha,
I
sorry,
remember a
go on with
song from this, she was saying, okay, it doesn't matter. So it took me maybe like a couple of hours to get there to find these vendors,
Yeah.
And then yeah, I think I remember I had my Walkman there. Back then already. Yeah, I had it. Or maybe I didn't. But I think that I was listening to it on my way back. And
So you
today,
actually
well,
bought
you
a
don't even
tape.
have
You
to.
bought a tape.
No. It's not. It was not Walkman. It was
Discman. It was a Discman.
Discman. Yeah.
Ah, right.
No, I bought a
Discman.
CD. Of course, it's already.
All right. I can't remember the time when
the
tapes
tape,
died,
actually, the cassette. I remember it was a Celine Dion French album, and I had to buy. Oh my God, I got a gift. It was my 17th birthday or something like that. I got a gift from some family friend. It was a gold ring, and I had to sell it to the gypsies to get the money to buy this cassette.
Amazing.
And today, what you don't even have to lift a finger. Spotify is offering you whatever he thinks.
Yeah. It's amazing how quickly these platforms replaced the previous solutions, and how indispensable they seem today, because you're right, getting new music.
It's not even about indispensable, but now, right, because there is such an abundance. I mean, you're offered, let's say, a new album of this or that musician, and you listen, and the first couple of minutes, next song, okay, next album, because you didn't exactly, I think, because you didn't have to lift a finger. That's why. But this album, I mean, it's not her best album. I can't say that I loved it very much. But I gave it a second chance and a third chance because I worked so hard to get it,
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I mean, so what this availability, technologically enabled availability caused is that we have a very superficial relationship with the products of culture, with whatever they, whatever these platforms offer. Yes, for sure. And yeah, this is very interesting. Also, in the there's a very nice book, by the way, by a staunch Marxist. I was surprised, I liked it so much. Yanis Varoufakis, who is the former Greek minister of finance. During the Greek crisis, I mean the debt crisis and the Grexit story and so on, he was one of the key figures of the Greek government who was negotiating the bailout plan with the troika, the so-called troika. There was the IMF, whoever else was there, European Union, and who else, I don't know. But the point is that he wrote a very nice book recently. I think it's this year's book. It's called Technofeudalism, which basically, he's, to cut the long story short, he basically says that capitalism is dead. It's something that Marxists were hoping for a long, long time. But instead of, the workers taking over, the control, it is not the workers, of course, but it's the new form of feudal lords, and earls who own digital platforms like Amazon, like Spotify, like all these others, because right now, if you want to do business, whatever, you open your little, florist shop or even a bigger business, you have to use these platforms, right? Because either, you need a hosting, or you need to have, you need to keep these relations with your customers, right? With the public generally. So basically use all the social media possible. You record stuff, you post videos, you clown around and so on. But what you are really doing is you're doing the job for these, thief lords, who basically are getting paid for it, because, they are earning in their sleep, You work hard, you sweat, you post your videos, you hope for this, a 40 plays or more, or whatever, and at the same time, of course, they are the winners, right? Because they win whether your videos are successful or not, and so on. And it's very, very interesting, point of view. And one that I think one of the few books that really made an impression on me this year, one of the books I read. Great book. I recommend it. I think I'm going to link it. It's Yanis Varoufakis, Technofeudalism. Great book. Even for a person who's like myself, I'm rather free market oriented and so on, but this is not free market what's happening. He's absolutely right in his diagnosis, in my opinion. This is some sort of a new form of feudalism, and where profits are not even important. Many of these platforms, they don't even show profits. Amazon, I know Amazon right now, of course, it's horribly profitable, but for many years, for like, I know, over a decade, it was basically a business that didn't show any profits. It's amazing.
It's very sad.
Yeah, it's sad. It's sad because we are turned into some kind of proles that have to work
content producers
for free. Content producers, exactly, Masha. This is who you are. A content producer, and now we are feeding that beast with our
your life
podcast.
Is actually content now.
You mean, yeah, my life? Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is it. And they enter all spheres of life, so they know you very well. They know where you go, they know what you buy, they know everything, so they can also control your behavior in a certain way that is desired. It's interesting. So I think from one point of view, it's nice that this podcast is so small, because we don't feed that beast too much.
Okay.
All right. No, but I think but I don't know. I don't know, honestly, if there is an alternative to social media, to living, online today. I must tell you, and to all our listeners, about my interesting, I would say, experience or impression from a few days ago. I think it was last Friday. It was a rainy day. Was generally ugly. It was generally ugly, which is rare here in the south of France, but it was ugly. It was an ugly day, and I spent the whole morning in front of my two screens. My computer, with beautiful colors, nice icons, applications, nice, of course, nice faces everywhere around, the Instagram, and everywhere everybody's smiling, everybody's happy, Now that's the internet today, right? More or less. Plus, a high definition screen, all that stuff. Everything's easy, one click away. And then I didn't have my lunch, so I had to go out and buy something. And I went from my office, and first, like I said, it was a dark day, kind of ugly. The reality wasn't so. That was like totally different than in my little office with my two screens, and so on. And then I saw a guy who I call the king of Manosk. It's the the king of my little town. It's just it's my term. Nobody knows he's a king, but I call him the king because he has a jaw that is really royal. Like he has that kind of face that looks like a king, except he's kind of a beggar. Oh, look at this guy. All right, there's a cat. For those of you who don't watch us on YouTube, there's a cat interrupting Masha. All right, but is that the guy who was injured?
Yeah.
All right, is he fine now?
Yeah, saved him.
All right, great. All right, there's a story, guys,
Masha,
to it
the
because
savior.
yeah. All right, yeah, because of our recording. Yeah, sorry. Coming back to our king of the town. So he's there basically every day, because this is the kind of a guy who's, I know he's over the hill, but he's there always, in the town center, always. I meet him every time I walk out of my office. He's somewhere
Is he
there.
homeless?
No, he's totally not. But I guess he's just, he's definitely jobless. So he's just spending
He's just
time
French.
outside. I don't think he's so much French. He might be from Maghreb,
Oh,
might be.
okay.
He doesn't look French so much. But anyway, that doesn't matter, But but the point is that he was sitting there smoking a cigarette, And my first thought when I saw him on that ugly day, right after quitting my session of 4 hours, in a row in front of the screen, I was like, "Whoa, this guy, he's sitting there just smoking a cigarette. He has no internet. He has no access to the internet. Otherwise, why would he be just sitting there and smoking a cigarette and looking at what? This ugly world?" And I just realized in an instant that we have created today two realities, parallel realities. One is the world 1.0, the real world out there. And the second one is this colorful, nice world that is online with our apps, icons, nice colors, and smiling people, because that's basically what it is, And I had also another impression that this second world, this artificial virtual world, is winning. It's winning. It's more interesting. It's more, I don't know, captivating, than whatever is happening outside, which is, I don't know, kind of maybe a sad conclusion. But yeah, this is what's occurred to me. But of course, in the light of Varoufakis' book, it's quite hard to reverse this trend. These guys in these huge platforms that offer entertainment, everything, everything. They offer basically everything, shopping and so on and whatnot. They will be very hard to overthrow, very hard to quit, very hard to kind of get rid of,
I think it's probably even impossible today.
Yeah, it's even, I think it is. I mean, unless there is basically a different social medium, like TikTok is kind of stealing users from Facebook, right? Maybe it's attracting, a new generation of, and probably there will be something after TikTok, another whatever, some kind of platform, but another thief, as he calls it, So, but anyway, to get back to the world 1.0, it's going to be hard, and it is harder and harder because of the easiness of everything that is online, because of also, this mesmerizing colors, nice apps, high definition screens, right? It's quite interesting, and dangerous in a way, because once again, it ushers in a new era, of this sort of post-capitalist world where you have some sort of feudalism again, with huge, a couple of big lords like Jeff, who we wanted to be one day. Remember? Yeah, that our idea was, let's get popular and rich like Jeff Bezos, Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, these are my reflections, around social media and other stuff that that I've been reading. Great. Are we ever going to restore the thinking out loud proper?
Are we ever going to have any other guests?
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question. I was still waiting for a couple of responses. But don't hesitate, of course, to get in touch with us if you want to be on the show and to answer our crazy questions. Are they
I don't
that
know
crazy?
if anybody even remembers what it was like.
Oh yeah, you're right, because it's been like a month of us just
what are
just
these
talking.
guys doing? What is happening to this podcast? It's turning into just what it was supposed to be at the beginning.
No, we are back to the
chin
roots,
wagging.
Yeah, chin wagging, exactly, But we are back to the roots, This is how it started.
No. It started not like this. It started properly. We asked minimum 2 questions per episode. This is how
you're
it
right.
started.
Yeah, you're right. So you're right. we have sort of evolved or devolved,
or regressed into chin wagging.
Yeah, into chin wagging. All right. So
and
Masha,
whining and complaining and ranting. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So how about we kind of restore the good old tradition of answering questions? I checked the analytics, and the AI, the almighty AI, told me that I speak too much, and the listeners prefer your voice, and you should actually speak more.
What did you check?
The AI analytics, whatnot.
Yeah. Let's guess.
So,
no, I think let's work on getting some guests on.
All right. I mean,
how
right
can
now,
we,
should we
how can we, what are we not doing or doing wrong? Why don't people?
I guess we are not sending invitations, Masha. That's the problem,
So if
I guess
people
if you don't
want
send an invitation, if you don't send an invitation, yeah, sure. I wouldn't worry so
but
much about.
Everybody's, so panicky about being on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, come on. I was even wondering, if I would take part in a show, in a foreign language that I know not so well. It's not easy.
You already answered this question last episode, and you said yes.
Yeah.
Just
provided that I said provided that the show would be nice and
and the host would be nice.
Yes.
And Masha, you don't get language feedback at the end.
I recommend 2 things. First, you give me the right to play some sounds here. You authorize me, and second, I ask you one crazy question from the database, so that people can see how you struggle and how difficult it is to be on this show, and to answer our questions.
To struggle for this, to produce content.
Yeah, exactly. And to feed the beast, the YouTube and Google in that sense, and also Spotify. All right. So are you ready?
Aren't we supposed to be ending? No? No?
One short question. One short, okay. 5 minutes. 5-minute question.
Anything right? For Round the listeners.
All right. Go on. Finally,
Good old
good old days, it feels like good old days. All right. So I want to ask you. One tiny little question: is a silent person always a good listener?
No.
Thank you. That's all.
That's a very short answer.
Why not? Come on, why not? A silent person is not a good listener? Why not? Who is a good listener?
No, I didn't say a silent person is not necessarily a bad listener, but a silent person may be not listening at all. If somebody's silent, it doesn't mean that they're listening. Maybe they're daydreaming. Maybe they are thinking about their next post on Instagram and just nodding, pretending. Sometimes they don't even pretend that they're not listening.
Exactly. They may be asleep. So
maybe they're very you need to, this trend today, everybody's teaching you how to be an active listener. You need to be an active listener. What does it mean?
The
It
hell is
means
an active
nodding.
Nodding. All right.
No,
Right.
not nodding, but actually listening and asking questions.
Masha, do you know about? Sorry to interrupt. But do you know this cat is going to earn us additional views? So come on, get him on screen.
Anything for the content, yeah.
And then I capture this. Then I capture this screen. And you're gonna see. If this thumbnail has the cat.
That's
on
a
it.
guest today. That's how low we.
How low we
resort.
Right.
We resort to pets.
Or make it at least give off a sound. Or give out a sound.
It's gotten so fat and lazy. All it does is sleep. It used to be really wild, when I lived in the country. I mean, it was gone for days, and he was lean, this true predator.
Yeah.
And now it's just a fat
cat. It's a fat cat.
Furry bag of fat.
All right,
okay.
Masha, I just wanted to ask you about
this
listener. Yeah, this active listening. But I also wanted to ask you then, who is a good listener, if not the silent person?
Well, I mean, of course, you have to listen. You have to be silent. It's just that these things are not.
It's a prerequisite.
Yeah, but the other thing is not, reverse thing is not true. It's logical fallacy, or what is it called?
Yeah. Fallacy.
I got actually good grade this subject at university. When I was studying law, we had this subject, logic.
Logic, sure.
And the teacher was, he was terrible, and most students just paid. But I got a good grade for. I had a question. What are they called? Euler diagrams.
All right.
When you draw two circles and you say, like, all women are, like, women and daughters. Let's say you need to. So this stuff, it was pretty easy, quick, and he said, okay. But anyway, so you were trying to corner me, but no.
I'm just thinking about this, women and daughters. So it's like all women are daughters, but not all daughters are women.
No, the other way around.
All right.
Okay,
but
never mind.
All right, never mind. Let's leave it aside. But I wanted to ask you that. I wanted to tell you that. About this listening. I don't know if I'm repeating myself now, but many people, women especially, say that ChatGPT is a better listener than their husbands, boyfriends, and partners.
Where did you get that?
I think it's like it's a well-known fact. I heard it. I heard it in Paris at the conference. Of course, in the form of a joke, but there's like a grain of truth in it, because if you ever spoke with ChatGPT, you know that this is kind of a listening. Good listener. It's a good listener.
I don't know what qualifies as speaking with ChatGPT. I asked it occasionally. I asked it questions. I ask one question. If I'm not satisfied with the answer, I rephrase my request or something. Does
so
it qualify as
your worries with it? If you ever tried, or have you
my
tried
leg
pi?
right now? Oh,
no, I'm not.
You
I'm
say
not.
your face is dead serious. Like, do you share your worries with ChatGPT?
No, not my worries. Okay, not my worries. But I remember conversing with Pi. It's a form of ChatGPT, a friendly form of ChatGPT, whatever. It's quite a nice algorithm, to be honest. And I remember discussing with Pi about, I guess my even my presentation for the Paris conference. And I had a
What do you
feeling
mean?
like,
You gave
whoa.
it your presentation to read and ask for feedback?
No. You see, I'm not that kind of bossy boss.
What kind of bossy boss
I
are
mean,
you?
I was just asking Pi if I was because I wanted to brainstorm a little bit and bounce my ideas off of somebody, and since my wife wasn't around and she's not even into what I'm doing, so I wanted to ask Pi about, I can't remember now exactly what was I talking about, but it was definitely about some learning technology, whatever, stuff around that.
But it was a concrete
And
question. You wanted information
yeah,
from it.
I not really, I wanted to just bounce my ideas of it. So it was
I
like more
can't
like
imagine how
chatting.
you would do that. Give me an example. I don't understand.
I wish I could go to the history, but
No, no,
there's no
no.
time
Just
for
give
that
me
now. But
like what,
I was
dear
asking,
Pi,
okay,
what do you think of
uh,
what do you think of this idea, or like
yeah, I was, for example, asking about what are the benefits of whatever. And sorry, I'm making it up right now, but you could easily ask, what are the benefits of learning online? Okay,
and of course it will give you 10
you
bullet
10
points. Yeah,
10 bullet points, and I don't know if
it's
Pi
not.
is doing it. Pi maybe is not, but it's not. Sorry, but this is ChatGPT. Pi, I think Pi is not using 10 bullet points. Pi is more like prose. And then I was asking, questioning it about the stuff that it said and so on. And I guess it was a conversation that resembled a real life conversation with you, Masha, for example.
No way.
Yeah, and I
Why
know
don't
that
you have
some.
an next episode with this Pi instead of me?
If only Pi could have, if only,
A cat?
if only Pi had a voice interface, because it doesn't for now. But once it has, we could have a guest every week. Except it's not a non-native, unless we tell it. Now act as a non-native. So make some mistakes occasionally and have a, some kind of an accent, foreign accent. That's an
I
idea.
think the value of a
We could
non-native
solve the
is
problem of
not
our guests once and for all with that technology.
the value of being a non-native is not that you make mistakes, for people to gloat. They also make, it's the different perspective you bring because you are a product of a different culture.
Yes.
It's not the so please don't say that.
All right. Sorry. No, but
Uh,
yeah, I went along, these stereotypical lines. You're right. You're right. It's a different
so you had a
perspective, different point of view.
conversation.
Yes, with Pi, for sure. And it was a successful conversation in the sense that I felt like, oh, we are really having an exchange,
Oh
my
my God,
ideas
so
versus
things are
yours.
even worse than I imagined.
Yeah. Well, go to pi.com. I think it's
I'm not
pi.
sure it's something I
You
want
could
to do.
check.
I have you for that. I'm
All
content.
right.
I like you.
All right. But what
I like
what I
you
wanted to
better
say,
than any pie.
all right. Even apple pie. All right, but I wanted to get back to this listening.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that was exactly the argument. That many people, women especially, but that's the kind of joke from the conference. But they find this technology to be a better listener because it responds to what they say. And I think this is the listener, right? First, you're silent when someone's speaking, and then you respond to what has been said.
Well, Well, for that matter, a tree can be a great listener, because when you need to, spill it out, take it, what is it, off your shoulders, get it out of your system, all these nice idioms.
Vent off.
Vent off, yes. You need, you just need to do it. It doesn't matter. You're not expecting a person to give you a solution to your problem or whatever. At least that's
but
what
at least
women do.
No. I don't think that an inanimate object like a tree. Sorry, it is actually animate. It's not dead nature. It's actually living. All right, but it's not. It doesn't have the capability of speaking. So I don't think that
Yeah, but when you want to vent,
your cat is it's a fantastic listener.
Yes, some people speak with their dogs. Dogs don't respond.
Oh, you're right, and they are listeners.
It's like when you say you need to produce language. I mean, like teachers, they how should I put it?
But in that case, you want a
just
receiver.
Need to speak.
But you need a receiver of your message.
No. Well, what are we talking about? Venting? When you want to vent, believe me, you just want to get it out.
Sure. No, I'm talking about. Was the other option? If not venting, then what? I'm just, let's say that there's something
if you need advice, it's a different thing. But well, yeah, depends on what you want, because. But it's for the same. I think it's the same reason why people prefer. Why? I think I told you before that I asked students. Why do you? Some students, why do you keep paying me if there is ChatGPT? And they say that I would never ever. I would always prefer to have a communication with a human than with a machine, because humans, they care. I mean, deep down, that they care, maybe not as much as you want them to care, but they still, I mean, I engage in a conversation with you. Yeah, you don't really care about my family life, about, what will happen to me, but I mean, not, how should I put it? At least a little bit you care, at least for this 1 hour, 2 hours. Yes, you get genuinely interested in what I'm saying, and you care. A machine will never care. It will just use the right language because it knows what you want to hear, but it will never care. So I see no point in.
But don't you think that this machine? Sorry. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it long for many times before.
How come again we're talking about AI?
It's always like that. We should rename this the name of this show. It's like whatever. Chats about AI or something. Anyway, I want to say that this caring is very interesting. This concept of caring. It is invisible, unmeasurable, and so on. Immeasurable, is that unmeasurable? Whatever. Who cares? But
not natives.
The point is that the point is that if your chat or Pi or any other remembers the history of your conversations, then you might have the impression that it's actually caring, because it might ask you the next time you connect, hey, so how's your, problem? How's your whatever? I think, and this would be a simulation. But you would believe that it's, And once again, this is what also Varoufakis is writing about, that the more you treat the tech and the technology as human, the worst is our future. That's, I mean, the outlook, because it could actually replace people. Fine. Don't want to spend too much time, Masha. I guess you answered the question. If a silent person is always a good listener, it's not.
And the same, with the silent person who is not paying attention, means he doesn't care, and he's not a good listener.
You mean
when all he's thinking about is his next post on Instagram, listening to you, right, but not caring? It's not a good listener.
So caring is at the heart of being a good listener.
Yeah.
Caring. You simply care. You care.
Yeah.
And if you care, then you respect the person, and you don't speak when
because
she's
again,
talking?
a bad listener, it's a person who will interrupt you, who, hog the conversation, will always, try and talk about himself. It shows that he doesn't care about you right now. He cares more about what happened to him, or,
Oh, that's great. So it's actually
Oh,
caring.
Thank you.
That's great. So it's a clever conclusion, something we promised our listeners.
Finally, at the end of season, what season are we? Season 6.
Yeah. We are about to finish, guys, with the seasons. You will no longer see season. You will basically see the number of episode, but still, Masha, it took us six seasons.
I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and the girl, she has short podcasts, how to help writers become authors, and they are short, and that's why she has like 455. And I was thinking about abandoning seasons, and then I listened to her, welcome to 455 episode, and I'm thinking, oh my god, what if it's 1,670?
No, then you come back.
But you have to have seasons.
You have to denominate. Then you have to denominate. So All right. Anyway, Masha, thanks a lot. We have a clever conclusion that caring, this of course needs further explanation, right? But caring is at the heart of listening, good listening.
That's my idea of,
Right. That's why humans are sort of better at this than machines. Not sure about cats. They don't care. So they're not
cats
really
are not good listeners.
They're not. They don't care about you and the world, They just care about their stomach.
Yeah, looks like it. Do dogs care about you?
I think dogs are different, Dogs, I don't know. Well, with that being said, it's time for the sacramental
And actually,
phrase.
one little comment I have about women.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of men will be very happy if ChatGPT listens to them talking about whatever, cars, and something their wives rarely show interest in. No, I'm not. I don't think you talk about socks. You just think socks magically appear and disappear and then clean themselves. That's why you.
I didn't say socks. I said stocks.
Ah, okay. This is Freudian slip.
Yeah, all
for
right.
me.
No, I said stocks.
Yeah, stocks, cars, women.
There aren't many wives who know what their husbands are doing with the stocks. Sometimes you need to vent,
Yeah, so go to high. If your wife doesn't really care.
I will, but what about what did you want to say? The chat will be listening to men. I don't get it. I mean, I didn't get the point.
I'm sure many men are very, very happy that there is finally somebody who can listen to them.
Great. That's
not only women,
Not only women. Yeah. But I guess the need of man to be listened to is somehow lower by definition.
I'm not sure about that.
All right. That's, the topic for our next meeting.
I'm sure they have the same desire. It's just very often, gets drowned in some amounts of alcohol.
Or other alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it.
That's it. I guess our listeners are already have enough.
Maybe somebody please come to the show next time. If you're not tired of this ranting and whining and complaining and generally talking about the technology, then please come and join us.
Open the window and
let some fresh air.
Exactly.
So this was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.